Now along comes Snowden. Thank goodness for Snowden.
Yes, absolutely.
Snowden he probably made close observation of what Congress was doing. He probably watched what happened to other NSA whistleblowers like William Binney and Thomas Drake, who tried to go through legal channels, and they got rewarded by having their homes invaded at gunpoint. And Thomas Drake was prosecuted under the Espionage Act. And so Snowden obviously looked at all this and decided better to leave the country first and make the revelations from a distant country. And that was a smart move. So otherwise they'd throw him in a dungeon like they did to Bradley Manning and try to shut him up. So what has Snowden revealed? I think Snowden has brought it out to far more people, brought it to more consciousness, because he has the documents, indisputable NSA documents, and the court order from FISA. That was very damning. That showed they were sweeping up the data on everybody's phone calls at Verizon. And you can be sure they're doing the same for AT&T and everybody else. Everybody, not just domestic to foreign phone calls, but that order showed they were getting domestic to domestic phone calls. Everybody. They think the whole American population is suspect. That's their mentality. And so Snowden showed they're sweeping up all this. They've got their hands in all the media companies like Google and Yahoo and Facebook. And I think that's when made a lot of people realize, hey, this affects me, okay? And they're not only sweeping all this up, they're storing it. That's something new. Data storage has become so cheap, they can now store everything. And that's the purpose of that new 1 million square foot data warehouse they've built in Bluffdale, Utah. They're storing everything. And so they're building up over years, 10 years now, data on everybody, little dossiers on everybody. And maybe they're not looking at you right now. But if they want to look at you, they can call it up with that little program that Snowden revealed, X-Keyscore. Just call up your name or your IP address, and there's all your email and your phone calls and your web browsing. There it is. They want to get you, they can get you. And that's scary. I call that the infrastructure for a police state, and that's really scary. Now, there's been all this uproar now, and Congress is starting to run scared. That was that vote the other day. Some rebellious congressman tried to pass a minor amendment to restrain them a little, and Nancy Pelosi helped John Boehner defeat the amendment. They're still at it. I have no hope in changing Nancy Pelosi or Barack Obama. They're embedded, they're up to their necks ideologically in this stuff. The police state and the imperial war everywhere. In my mind, and this is a bit of a tangent, I think they all have to be swept out of power. But as a final note, so now they're really scared. Now they're talking about, oh, maybe we'll pass a little reform to make people feel better. Watch out for their reforms. Chuck Schumer is leading this latest effort. He's been talking to Obama, and his reform is going to be to release the statistics on how many things they're watching, so you have an idea of why it's not so bad. But his reform won't restrain anything. So the only thing for me right now is the important thing is to defend the whistleblowers. If you believe in real change, real reform, the first thing you want to do is defend the whistleblowers and prosecute the criminals. But the priority of Washington and the White House, they want to prosecute the whistleblowers and protect the criminals. Their priorities are completely upside down. So it's up to us to defend the whistleblowers. Snowden temporarily is safe in Russia, but that's temporary, and I think his life is still in danger. And I'm sure the U.S., with all their resources around the world with the CIA. They're looking for a way to bring him back here and throw him in a dungeon or worse. And I think if that happens, it's an obligation of us who defend civil liberties to march in the streets to defend him. Hands off Edward Snowden. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Stein. Mark Klein.
And just to know him, Mark actually has a new book that he's just published called Wiring Up the Big Brother Machine and Fighting It. Let's get another big round of applause for an American hero.